Coming up on this episode of Latinas, we'll celebrate Afro-Latinidad, love, fashion, and so much more. Latinas starts now. Welcome to Latinas, the show that's all about nosotras, created by nosotras. I'm Tinabeth Piña. Today, I'm at the Museum of Sex here in New York City, which is the perfect place to celebrate February and the month of love. For more than 20 years, the museum's mission is to preserve and present the history, evolution, and cultural significance of human sexuality through exhibits and programs that encourage public enlightenment, discourse, and engagement. And that's why it's one of the best in the world. February is also the month where we celebrate Black history and Afro-Latinidad. For the past 17 years, Dominican restaurateur Rosa Garcia has made it her mission to feed and take care of her neighbors in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx. Correspondent Elena Romero celebrates her story in today's Inspiración Latina.
I want people to know that there is a place in the Bronx that people don't have to leave outside of the Bronx to have fun, to catch a vibe, to get great food.
Rosa Garcia is the co-owner of Rosa's at Park, the 2-year-old bar and rooftop lounge located inside the Wingate Hotel that is a nod to her Latinidad.
I'm Dominican, and I really wanted to kind of bring my heritage into the establishment, so it's very Latin fusion. The menu is a little bit of my old restaurant, My Haven Bar and Grill, and also what I wanted to bring, a little bit of my culture, the presentation, and everything else.
According to Garcia, she never planned to be an entrepreneur.
I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, but it started with me helping my mom at a Spanish restaurant for a couple of years, to being a waitress at that restaurant while working a full-time job and working and going to school. And I just so happened to give birth to my first daughter in 2007, February 2007. My motivation behind it was my child, and I needed to take care of her by all means necessary.
2 restaurants later and a certification as a life coach, the single mom clearly became empowered, and the inside of her namesake establishment reflects this.
Everything that I do here, from the artwork and everything, it's around women empowerment. Wonder Woman, of course, because women are Wonder Woman. We do everything. We have like 20 different capes all at once.
And this speaks directly to Garcia's superpowers. The CUNY Grad has won numerous awards for her community work, is a marathon runner, and plans to become a nurse while running her restaurant.
I always had a love and passion for nursing. I just like taking care of people. I like restaurant, hospitality, because my days are never the same. It's 3 days a week that you work, so I could still work here the other 3 and rest 1.
An active member of the South Bronx Alliance and the New York State Latino Restaurant Association, Garcia serves as a reliable community advocate, corralling local developers and business owners to support her community initiatives, including annual food drives.
So for 10 years now, I've been giving food to families in need of the Mott Haven area. I put together some funds that I raised through the developers, the businesses, and even my social media platform. At the beginning, I started with feeding just 500 families. They went up to 1,000, they went up to 2,000. Then I started collaborating with Goya. I came from nothing. I know what it was to sleep on the floor, to wait till your mom or your grandmother could cook a meal for you. But I also know that a meal shouldn't be something that anyone should have to struggle to get. So if I could impact the family, even if it's one family a year, I'm happy.
For Latinas, I'm Elena Romero.
February is also known for Fashion Week here in New York, and we're seeing lots of styles paying tribute to one of the most iconic artists of all time, Frida Kahlo. Young Wang, director of Lost Pattern, tells us how he mixes traditional Chinese silk designs along with Kahlo's colorful universe.
I am the co-founder of Lost Pattern, which is a silk accessories company brand that celebrates self-expression and all identities. And me and my designer, one night, we were like chatting, who do you want to collaborate with? And our answers were Frida Kahlo, and just like simultaneously, like very natural. Everyone's talking about Frida, they talk about her love stories and her art, but she actually represents a lot more than that. So we told the family, we want to tell untold stories of Frida Kahlo, because that's what our brand is doing as well. Because, for example, she was a very kind person. She welcomes people in need in her house and feed them back then. Those are the stories, like her kindness was not so much mentioned because she's not only an artist, she also represents self-empowerment because she fought so hard in her life and she was so inspirational to people in adversity. New York Fashion Week is very unique because it's very embracing. Anyone can be part of it, and that's why I like it. And also you can find platforms like FDOA, although they are a platform to celebrate fashion designers of Latin America, but right now the platform is open to international designers like us, and we're very thrilled and welcomed in this platform. So we try to combine the Mexican element and then the silk, which is from China. That's where I was born. This is a very special type of silk. It's 100% plant-based. It was dyed with yang juice, so it's not chemical. So we combine the two cultures, two stories, and two beautiful ideas into one.
You can pick up any of these Frida fashions from the Flores que Nunca Mueren collection by checking out lostpattern.com. For many of us, our New Year resolutions have come and gone. Each year, it's the same story. We make big plans, but according to recent studies, 80% of us quit by the time February rolls around. So we invited 3 Latinas who are about to share with us how we can not only stay the course with our resolutions, but also live the life we've been dreaming about. Get your notebooks ready to take some notes in today's Caliente Caliente.
There's so many goals that you can become and have and etc. And one of them is like fitness, right?
We separate fitness and put it on a pedestal when it's actually the same process.
Wow.
I think for me, what changed my life, mindset, because I was so hyper-focused on the result, but I wasn't getting anywhere.
Yeah.
The minute I started to just like bring it down, right? Like really just
Right,
hyper-focusing on one thing at a time, I
Right.
built my confidence,
Good.
check, did that one.
Good.
Let me try that same concept somewhere else, right? Like my business and everything else I do. The
Yeah.
more you achieve.
So I think that we have to focus on our discipline and our daily habits.
Exactly.
Our daily habits.
Right? And you said focusing on the results. That is part of the problem. I like to focus on like my small wins,
Right.
my daily wins, like getting to the gym at 6 a.m. when I hate working out, right? Like that is a win for me.
Right.
It's not necessarily about how I look, it's the fact that I got there. And when we can work that way, I feel like that you get a lot further.
So my company is based off of vision boarding, and so we focus on 90-day goals. So let's focus on short-term goals, and we can talk about our long-term goals. There's no problem with that. But let's go 90 days. So let's start something right now, and let's see how we go from there. And if you like it, let's keep growing it. Let's go to 60 days, right? Then let's go to the half of the year, and etc. And so that, for me, that has been very, very successful and achievable because I'm taking it small bit by bit.
Yeah.
I love what you said about 90 days because it's about what can I accomplish that's realistic.
Absolutely.
What can I let go of? Can I wake up, even if it's not working out in the morning?
Absolutely.
Can we wake up 15 minutes earlier and just use that time to sit and think about your day? Be real.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have this avoidance. We
sure.
don't want to sit with ourselves because we don't want to admit what we're not doing for ourselves. It's easier to have this narrative of, it just doesn't work for me. It's just
Right.
never going to happen for me. And for me, it's more, I use my body, I use my discipline, I use my activity to prove to me that I can.
That can be really hard, especially I think as Latinas, we are taught to like give and serve
Yes.
everybody else,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Women in general and Latinas specifically,
Yes.
we are taught to serve. Like we want to be in service and you eat last and you do everything last, right? Especially also if you're a mom. And what I try to teach people and teach my clients is that it is okay to do ourselves first, right? To make sure that we are filling our own cup first. But I feel like it's easy to say that, and it's really hard to understand what that looks like and what that means for you.
And I love that you said it doesn't have to look the same for everyone.
For sure.
We're all in different places in our life. You know, some people don't have kids, other people have 5. Your kid does get sick.
For sure.
You do have deadlines to meet.
Yeah.
It is I get it, but it's more just asking yourself, no one else is going to come and do it for you.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes I tell people, what's something you've been saying for 5 years that you still say now?
Wow.
I'm pretty sure you're even embarrassed to say it, right?
Right.
That's why people stop dreaming.
Yeah.
And stop creating resolutions. They have this negative attachment to it.
Yeah.
Just give yourself the freedom of saying, this is the year I will not say this again next year.
So
you know,
good.
even if I fail, winning is failing and getting back up.
And that's why I tell people all the time, like with vision boarding, take off and take on. Like if you don't like something, take it off. If you've done it and maybe you're just like, hey, this is not for me, take it off.
Yeah.
And put on something that maybe you've had a moment where you're like, wow, I'm so proud that this happened.
You're touching on something so good, because I think that we have this other problem of setting this goal for ourselves and thinking that we need to achieve that goal even when it no longer fills us.
Relentlessly.
Yeah.
I have to prove it to myself.
Yeah, there was a time that I wanted to be this boss, like exec, and I was. And as I continued climbing the corporate ladder, I was like,
Right.
I don't know if I want to do that anymore.
It's not
Like,
filling
I
me the
don't
way
know,
I
that
thought.
wasn't
Yeah.
filling me anymore.
Yeah.
Right, and then I found something else, and then that's when I ended up becoming an entrepreneur. But, you know, many people get stuck on that, that's what I want.
Right.
And they don't allow themselves to think outside of that box anymore.
Absolutely.
Because they think that, you know, that title,
Right.
that amount of money, that whatever it is going to fill them up, and it's not.
To hear these women drop even more knowledge, check them out at the 5th Annual Self-Made Mujer Conference presented by DreamLab, a Latina-led organization we'll learn more about next month. Switching gears, did you know that Latino children are 1.8 times more likely to be obese as compared to children of other ethnicities? Dr. Stephanie Martinez from Union Community Health Center is about to tell us what we can do to help prevent our children from becoming overweight in today's Medical Minute.
Obesity is a very complex disease that can occur in children as well as adults due to a myriad of reasons, which can include frequent eating patterns, low physical activity levels, disrupted sleep schedule, and genetics. Furthermore, obesity can also lead to illnesses such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, psychological disorders, and some cancers. Latino children who are obese might also experience other negative consequences, including psychological distress, poor social interactions, frequent school absences due to bullying, and overall poor school performance. To prevent childhood obesity, it's important to talk to your doctor and participate in programs in your community in order to maintain a healthy lifestyle. There's also the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children known as WIC, which provides supplemental food, participant-centered nutrition education, breastfeeding support, as well as contact information for health and social services for eligible low-income women and children. Childhood obesity can be treated and prevented, which will help protect your child's health now and in the future. For Latinas, I'm Dr. Stephanie Martinez.
Now's the time to start thinking about booking your next vacation, especially if you plan on traveling solo. We caught up with a few Latina travel journalists who have tips that you could use as a solo female traveler. Check it out.
Don't be afraid. The world is a safe place. Keep your wits about you. Go about any other country the way you would at home. And don't let the fear-mongering get to you.
Listen to what other people have to say. If you have an interest in traveling somewhere, just go for it. I remember when I first started solo traveling, my parents, my friends didn't want to go with me. So I'm not going to wait for someone else to stop me from going to the places that I really want to see.
Even if you're married, you can still solo travel. I do it, and I've been married with him 14 years, 3 years married, and I'm still going solo. Just make sure, a tip that I would say is make sure that they're tracking you. It makes them feel safer that where you are.
Tell your mother where you are. Check in with her. Don't be annoyed when she calls. Give her the time that she needs. Try all the food. Even if you have dietary restrictions, like I'm vegan, you can find vegan renditions of the local dishes, and you don't want to miss out on trying the flavors. Plan ahead a little bit, but leave some room for some spontaneous adventures. You never know who you might meet, what castle you never heard of, what river has something beautiful going on, and you don't want to eliminate those things from your itinerary if you have a really set schedule. And one last thing, take photos. People think it's so cheesy to always be Instagramming, but you're documenting your experiences, and you'll look back on those and cherish them someday to have proof of where you've been and what you did. And take notes, even if you're not trying to be a blogger or a writer, you want to be able to reflect on those memories.
It's award season. Emmy Awards were last month, Oscars are next month, and oftentimes both have been plagued with backlash due to their lack of Latino representation. I caught up with a few Latinos in the film and TV industry with deep New York City roots to talk about what should and can be done.
I remember in a series I was doing, the writers said to me, "We want to write more for you, but we just don't know how." And I said, "Write the same thing you're writing for Fulana. The same thing. You don't have to change. You don't have to give me an accent. You don't have to give me special circumstance. Write the same thing and take out the cursing that she does. You'll see. We're all the same. Whatever accent we have, whatever color we are, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And so just write for a human being, and you're going to be good."
Or hire a Latino writer.
That's going to be a little difficult for them to wrap their head around it. But yes, of course, the most obvious thing is hire Latino writers.
Recent studies have shown that of all screenwriters currently employed in major studios, only an average of 3.1% are Latino, while just 5.5% of roles go to Latino actors. These stats, unfortunately, have not had any significant change in decades, although the U.S. Hispanic population has grown 23% in just the past 10 years. In fact, Latinos now represent 19% of the total U.S. population and are also the fastest growing segment, with a 59% growth between 2010 to 2021.
I've been in this game for well over 25 years, and these were conversations that we were having over 25 years ago. So this is not something new, it just feels new. And it always feels new every time they come across it. And social media allows for everybody to have a voice in the public, then I think that it's being heard more because more voices are talking about it and amplifying it.
So what can be done to rectify this lack of representation?
So for me, whenever I mentor younger people or just anyone in this industry, when I talk to them, I say to them, you represent me and I represent you. I'm gonna do the best that I can for you. Please do the same for me. Because if they're late, everybody's gonna think I'm gonna be late, right? That's just the way that it is. And I don't blame people for it. In other words, the people who react in the way, I think that we need to hold ourselves even more accountable than other people. We gotta do it better, we gotta do it faster, we gotta do it cheaper. We have got to work so hard because we're constantly proving ourselves, especially in the Latino market, in the entertainment business. They represent so much more. If one white guy messes up, they're not gonna never hire a white guy again, right?
Beloved character actor Luis Guzman firmly believes that the only way for Latinos to succeed in the TV and film industry is to help themselves and support one another.
We've been up and coming for a long time, but the reality is that we're here and we're going to make a difference, and we're artistic and we have incredible stories to tell, and we're capable and we have the talent. More than anything about us really supporting each other as a community, because you always got to water a plant, you always got to take care of the soil, you always got to do your harvest, and that takes work, that takes sometimes a community, and it's the same thing in the entertainment, and we're very capable because I believe that, something that I'm doing with my son, Semi Guzman, with other young people, and it just really makes me proud. Por favor, keep doing your thing. You make me proud. Gracias.
You know I nearly died when he said how proud he was of our show and what we do. Thank you, Senor Guzman. Now, as I mentioned earlier, February is the month of love, and today we have licensed marriage and family therapist Nicole Maldonado here with us to share some tips about making the most of a new relationship.
As human beings, like, we are creatures of connection, right? We thrive off being around people, family relationships, friendship relationships, romantic relationships, children relationships. We're not meant to be alone. So enjoy the relationship, have fun with your partner, have fun in their company. And if this is something that you do see as a substantial or like a serious relationship, and have that expectations talk. Ask your partner, it's like, you know, what do you want to achieve in the short term, like in the next 3 to 6 months? Expectations should always be talked about in terms of like their short-term goals. Like, you know, where do they see this relationship going? What is the type of relationship they want to have? Do they want to have a traditional monogamous relationship? Do they want to have an open relationship? Is this just a purely sexual relationship, or is this going to be both a sexual and intimate relationship? Also, too, looking if they do decide to have a traditional monogamous relationship, then what are the expectations for a long-term, like what are their long-term goals? Do they both want to get married, not get married? Children, not children? You know, what is the life that they both see each other living? This is a good exercise for any type of couple to do, because that shows the compatibility of a couple. It's like, do we really match well together? Do our personalities match well together? And is this a sustainable long-term relationship, or is this only for the short-term relationship? The first year of a relationship is always a really critical period too, because you do test out those major pillars of a relationship: trust, respect, communication, intimacy, all of that stuff. It kind of leaves both individuals asking, it's like, okay, is this something that I should continue to engage in if I do see a future with this person? Or is this something that we just want to engage in a short-term relationship and call it a day after a couple months? Which again, that's all well and fine too, but as long as it's within both people's decision to do that. I've worked with a lot of couples where there's hope for change, right? Maybe they don't see some of those expectations, maybe they have different goals, or just differences in opinions, differences in communication patterns. There's always a hope that things will get better and things maybe will change. But when I do talk to couples about whether we should stay in this or not, if the relationship is not serving both individuals, if there's just too much differences, if there's not enough compatibility, then that's usually a case where, you know, you would want to question, like, okay, is this something that we should continue in or not, if the differences are that substantial. Don't rush into relationships. That's something I tell a lot of clients in. You know, enjoy getting to know the person, like really learn the person, learn how they solve problems, observe people, because that builds trust. A relationship is like a garden, so you have to put the work in every single day for it. But the more you learn about that partner, and the more you learn about yourself and what do you want in a relationship, that can kind of help gear the path towards what the long term can be.
Darresa Rodriguez didn't finish high school and figured she wouldn't even be able to earn a college degree until she found the City Worker Education Program at City College. And a new world of opportunities not only opened up for her, but she also became City College's latest valedictorian, who is on the road to becoming a lawyer. That's why Darresa Rodriguez is today's Latina on the Rise.
I am in my first year as a graduate student at CWE at CUNY. As a Latina, as a single mother, as someone who has grown up in adversity completely, CUNY has been so instrumental to my development academically, intellectually, giving me the confidence that I need to continue here in New York or anywhere else. So my mother and father, they're from Dominican Republic. In the early 80s, they had 4 boys and then me, but my father raised all of us. And because of that, he couldn't work, and so we grew up in a shelter, I guess until I was about 3 years old. And then we, by the public assistance, we received a 1-bedroom apartment. Growing up in the neighborhood of City College as a child, I remember looking and walking by City College thinking like it was a castle, right? This is like sacred grounds, and thinking like, wow, this is beautiful. Like, I don't know that I could ever go here. And to be able to now, as an adult, go to City College, walk around, go to main campus and see other students, it brings me so much joy. So my first semester, I was terrified because of the classes, because of meeting new people who are in academia. I'm feeling like, am I worthy enough to write an academic paper? And they gave me a chance. They said, just try. So that gave me the confidence to continue finishing the rest of my assignments and writing, 10-page papers and whatnot, and feeling really happy that I made this decision of going back to school. I would definitely say being able to finishing my undergrad as a valedictorian for class of 2023, one of my happiest and proudest moments, especially at my age. That meant I have to work harder, read longer, stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning. These were, efforts that my daughter saw, and she really, really said that she felt, compelled to continue doing the same thing, which was great. One thing I have learned is to continue dreaming. Every single day I dream a little bit, or a lot of it. I dream because whatever I dream, that's what I want in my future. Something I would definitely say to people like me, Latinas, Afro-Latina, however you identify yourself with, don't allow anyone in this world, any institution, any person to make you feel like you're less than. We have an advantage here where we can see both sides of the world. We can work within this environment, whether within the United States, in New York, that we can speak Spanish, we can speak English, and accept that. Don't allow this imposter syndrome to play a part. How can I fit in to be more white or whatever it may be, or more corporate? But it's more of let me find who I am and represent myself for who I am in every environment that I'm in.
And that's our show for today. For more information on what you just saw, check out our website at tv.cuny.edu and follow our social media profiles, because we love sharing our Latina stories with you. And please make sure you tune in next month, where we'll learn how to become an empowered woman from Yvette Bowden, hear about the Workers' Justice Project, and so much more. Hasta la próxima. Bye-bye.